sell you this and said, it has an aluminum alloyed case with a beautiful retina display and has 10% longer battery life than its 3GS model and 60% faster than the original iPhone. You're all standing there like, okay, how much faster is 60%? The hell does 10% longer mean? Retina display sounds like it's going to hurt. And do I really need an aluminum alloy case? Maybe. That might be the only point that you took out, like, okay, that one's not bad, I don't understand the rest of it. Now, how if I said this? So let's reverse it. And this is what Old Spice did so well. This simplifies your life. This allows you to organize and keep track of everything you need to do through the day. It allows you to stay connected with people who matter most in your life, and even allows you to discover cool new things that you didn't even know existed. Does the alloy case really matter anymore? No. That's what Old Spice did. They got on screen, and he started off, ladies, look at your man. Now look at me. Now back at your man. Now back at me. Now back at your man. Now back at me. And he went on, and that's what he was selling. He was selling that benefit of your guy smelling like that guy. And it was cool. And then they even went further because he was on a horse at the end. And come on, who doesn't want to be on a white horse on a beach? I do. I was even like, I want to be on that horse. So that's what Old Spice did very well in their storytelling. They focused on the benefits, over the top benefits, yes. I mean, just because I smell like Old Spice doesn't mean I have opera tickets. But the benefits versus the features. And they did finally one last thing, and this is why they were a success in 2010 compared to all the other ones. They engaged first. They said, okay, we have this great idea. It is apparently growing by the masses. People are actually talking about our commercial. So they quickly said, what can we do with this? This is a great idea. How can we leverage this? Well, let's pick up a platform called YouTube so we can make more commercials. Pick up another platform called Twitter and actually start talking to people and taking suggestions and making those people's suggestions. What a capital idea. We're actually listening to our audience and adapting a story to them. Now, if you've ever been in a library or in a church or in a room where there's a speaker or storyteller talking and he had small children in front of them, you will know that the most and best stories are when he includes his or her audience. When he goes, we're walking through the park one day, and he's throwing it out there. The kid could say dinosaurs, and that's fine, because is that story better for it? Absolutely. Do you think that child is more engaged? 100%. Because he took someone's suggestion and he melded it into a platform that he was already ready with. They didn't reinvent the wheel every time. Old Spice was making a commercial. It was same guy, same scene, in the shower, towel across the waist. But they just added to it. And it made people that much more engaged. And it made other people that much more interested, right? Maybe they'll take my suggestion. Just like the kids. We're walking through the park and we see a dinosaur. And then we're walking along and we see our best friend, Peter. All of a sudden, children just get engaged because they're being engaged with. So when you're storytelling, remember, and again, this is something that we all sometimes are guilty of, that we have to listen to our audience as we're telling a story. We have to see the suggestions that they're making. And I'm going to contrast this with what I would call as a social media blender. Charmin, those bears. Parents hate Charmin. It clogs their toilets. Yet they continue to use cuddly bears and really hammer in to the family market. Why? The family market is the most lucrative market for toilet paper to be in. But parents hate their paper, toilet paper. On their Facebook fan page, they have parents saying, your toilet paper is not good. We do not like your toilet paper. It clogs our toilets. My kid is constantly clogging our toilets because of your toilet paper. But they're not listening. They continue just to keep using the same story over and over again. They try to reposition it, you need less, but it doesn't matter. Do you think a 5-year-old understands you need less? No. No, he understands that this is soft toilet paper. He doesn't understand clogging a toilet, or she doesn't understand clogging a toilet. So in contrast, that's someone who's maybe not listening to an audience, and unfortunately they're losing a lot. But how do you get success? in all this? How do you get people sharing your story, which, by the way, is the golden key? It's all well and good for me to share my story with you guys today, but right now there's about 60 people in this room. So if you go out and I only impact 60 people, that's a small amount of people to impact. However, if you all go out afterwards and all tweet out, awesome presentation by Josh underscore, because Josh Muirhead was already taken. Josh underscore Muirhead, boom, instantly my story spreads. So that's the golden key, is to get other people to spread your story for you. So how do you do that? Well, going back to our stories of Seth Godin and Old Spice, be brief, be brilliant, be gone. And be polarizing as you do it. Don't flip-flop. If you flip-flop, people will have a really hard time spreading your story because they won't know what it is. They'll have a real hard time pinpointing what you stand for and what they can spread for you. All right, if I stood up here and said, storytelling's okay, but another great thing is to have 18 bullet points per PowerPoint slide, you get really confused really fast. In fact, that's why I don't have any words on my screen. It all goes back to my purpose of storytelling. Also, allow your ideas to spread. And this is something that's very funny. A lot of businesses are reluctant to get into a social space because we lose control of our message. You already lost it. Just accept that and move on. People already have the power, and it's happening daily, to walk into any place. We could walk into the Hilton right here and say, this place is terrible. And there's nothing that they can do to stop us. Not one minute thing. So is your message already lost? Absolutely. But are you able to empower those messages? Maybe see people who are saying, this sucks, and hopefully change them, or at least have a discussion with them? Absolutely. And if your story's there, do you think it will spread? Well, at least you have a shot. If you're not there, there's no shot. There's no ability to spread your story. It'd be like if I didn't show up here this morning. There'd be no way for you guys to understand my story. Now, Old Spice, to continue in the story, Old Spice, again, engaged first and engaged often. They didn't just take one suggestion and that was it. They took multiple suggestions and worked it into their tapestry of storytelling. They were funny. And we all like a little bit of a laugh. That's why I started off this morning with that big, over-the-top good morning that got us all to laugh. Did it engage you? Hopefully. At least, if anything else, it woke everyone up. And they were on point. Now, finally, and one thing that I haven't mentioned yet, because those first two do it so well, Old Spice not as well, but they also did something else that a lot of businesses struggle to do. And they used intrinsic motivation instead of extrinsic motivation. And what does that mean, Josh? That means I'm inspiring you to spread my story. You might not gain a thing from it. Or you might, but that's for you. Now, if I walked around the room and gave everyone $50, sure, you probably would all help me out a little bit. But instantly, I made it work. Instantly, well, yeah, I'm supposed to retweet that guy today. I guess I can do that now. Boom, instantly, I lost that appeal. Because I moved it from intrinsic, meaning you do it because you want to do it, to extrinsic, meaning you're doing it because someone told you to do it. And they offered you something in return. Now, Seth Godin, just to go back to him, does this extremely well. Like I said, he doesn't link you many places. But when he does, it's not because he's getting monetary exchange or getting big bonuses. It's because he believes in that cause. Now, do you think with his 100,000 followers, that website or wherever he's sending them benefits? Yeah, just a little bit, especially when most of his followers are extremely passionate. But he's using intrinsic motivation, not extrinsic. So try to do that as well when you're storytelling. Don't focus on trying to sell people, oh, if you spread my idea, this is what we can give you. Just allow them to spread your idea. Now, if you reward them afterwards, like you did an amazing thing, here you go, that's not necessarily a bad idea. But make sure you don't move it from intrinsic to extrinsic. Thank you. Any questions? You can clap. Yay! Very good.